Hello. It's good to see you guys tonight. Thanks for coming out to the Turning Point in lovely Piermont. It's a perfect day. I like New York at this time of year.
Yeah.
Man, it's beautiful. I went down near the water. Perfect light. As opposed to the other day when I was in Washington, D.C. There was a little bit of overcast cloudiness happening, and I played at this place called Iota, which is a really neat club in Arlington, Virginia. And I have this friend who's a Navy corpsman, which means he goes out with Marines, and he was in Iraq, and he's a Navy corpsman, but he's like a doctor, and wounded Marines, he'll help them stitch them up and do all kinds of stuff. And he's a badass. And we're totally different, opposite ends of the political spectrum. We couldn't be farther apart. But I love him because he's really fun. We have great discussions about politics, but neither of us gets really mad. I just listen to him, and he listens to me. He's a good listener. I think he's probably going to run for Congress one day in Texas or somewhere. And but he's really funny, and so he's now a Republican lobbyist for Wounded Warriors. He writes Wounded Warrior legislation, and so he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, tomorrow before you do Voice of America," because I was going to do a taping of Voice of America, which is this really cool program that goes out and they translate your interview into 56 different languages. It goes down to Africa. It goes everywhere. And so I did an hour-long interview with this great, great woman named Joan Kornbluth, and she's interviewed everybody. She's really good. And so she has me come in and we do the whole thing, and Jim says to me, "Hey, tomorrow before you go to your Voice of America thing, I would like you to come to a Korean day spa with me." And this is the Republican lobbyist. So I was like, "Okay, wait, what happens at the Korean day spa?" He goes, "Well, you're going to be naked." I go, "So a Republican lobbyist wants me to go with him to a Korean day spa and walk around naked in front of him." Right away, I was kind of a little bit worried. He goes, "Just do it, just do it." So I'm been a night owl. Every time I go on the road, it seems like I stay up till 5 in the morning, and then I want to sleep till about 11 or noon, and then when I get home off the road, I'll go to bed at like 8 or 9 in the evening. It's the weirdest thing. But when I'm on tour, when I'm done, my mind's always racing, and I'm thinking about the show, and I'll wake up like at 4. If I go to bed at 4 in the morning, I'll wake up at 5 and just go, "You idiot, why'd you say that? What was this?" And I'm always going over what happened during the day. So I said to him, "Listen, why don't we go to the Korean day spa at 2 or 3 in the morning when I get out of my gig?" So he says, "Okay." So we go to this Korean day spa. It was amazing. And there's only a few people in there at that time, so I thought. So I have to take a shower, and then there's this pool that's like 106 degrees, another's at 103, another that's like 98, and they have all these massage jet spas. They have a steam room, and they have a dry sauna, and so you're supposed to soak down in the shower before you go in there. So I'm there taking a shower, and I get into the water, and you're naked, like, and the towels are about this big, and it brought me back to my days of wrestling when I would have to make weight, and we would have to weigh in naked because they kind of want to inspect your body to make sure you didn't have lice or something. So you'd have to weigh in naked, and this brought me back to being in high school where I was always scared to be naked because, well, I didn't have any hair down here yet, and everybody else seemed to have gone through puberty sooner. And like, I'm talking in 11th grade, I did not have hair down there, so, and I was really little and I had a high voice. So I remember I'd weigh in and go like this, and I'd come up to the thing. So I got out of the shower, and I naturally was feeling that way. So I got in the pool, and I was walking towards the pool like this, and then you're not supposed to look at other guys, right? But you can't help it. And this Russian guy, like a lot of Russians go, there's this Russian guy comes walking by, he's tattooed up, looked like he's been in and out of prison. His dick was so big, like I didn't even want to look at it. It was like an elephant trunk. It was going, and he was walking like a proud lion. I swear his dick was bigger than my forearm and longer. And I was like, is this real, or is this like, am I being punked? And like they're trying to see, because it was freakadociously big. And he just walks by like this. And he looks over at me and I was like, meanwhile, I had gotten out of the hot pool and gotten the 56-degree pool because I like the difference in the water when I got out. I was like, I didn't even know if I had a dick anymore. Like, as far as I was concerned, I had a pussy. I did not have a cock. So I was like, "Hello, Mr. Russian man. Please don't judge my appearance on the cold water I've just gone down." Major shrinkage. But this guy wouldn't even have shrinkage. Like, shrinkage was impossible. He had an appendage. So I get out of there, and it's like, we go into this room, then you go where all these Koreans hang out, and I come in, it's like 86, it looks like 86 dead Koreans on the floor of cholera. They're like passed out. It's 5 in the morning, they're like this. they're curled up next to one and say, love, somewhere alone. Everybody has this prison garb on because you all wear the same thing, because by there it's guys and girls in this room together, and they serve like weird quail's eggs and noodles and stuff, and I had green tea, and I'm sitting with this Republican lobbyist sipping green tea discussing politics, because I really love to discuss politics because I don't think of myself as any really particular persuasion. I just really like to read a lot. So I was asking him if he reads much Gail Collins, because I love Gail Collins. She's like probably 70 years old now. She's an op-ed columnist for the New York Times. She's my favorite. And I love her mind. I love the way it works. So we're discussing all this stuff. He's very well read. He's telling me about being over in Iraq and everything. And so when we leave there, it's like 5 in the morning. And I said, can we go get some cereal? I buy 5 boxes of cereal. We go back to his house. My tour manager, Chris Modell, is asleep in the other room. And I thought Jim, the lobbyist, was going to go to his girlfriend's house. He goes, listen, it's too late for me to go to her house. I'm going to have to sleep in the same bed next to you. So we're eating our cereal, and he has just a queen-size bed, and I sleep next to this Republican lobbyist in my underwear, with whom I'd already been naked in a hot tub with a Russian guy with a huge cock. And so we had cereal, and then he got up in the morning, and I feel like this guy's my best friend now.